আরাটা ইজুমি এই নামটা একেবারে আপনার কাছে অচেনা নয়, কারণ তিনি প্রথম ফরেন বর্ন ফুটবলার যিনি আমাদের দেশের পাসপোর্ট নিয়ে দেশের হয়ে প্রতিনিধিত্ব করেছেন তিনি। এবং গত বছর তিনি আরও একটি অনন্য নজির গড়েছেন, সেটি হলো প্রথম ইন্ডিয়ান পাসপোর্ট হোল্ডার যিনি ইউরোপের টপ ডিভিশনে কোচিং করিয়েছেন। আরাটা ইজুমি তিনি গত বছর অ্যান্ডোরার ফার্স্ট ডিভিশন ক্লাব ইন্টার ডেসকালডেজের হয়ে কোচিং করিয়েছেন। এবং আমাদের সাথে একটা একান্ত সাক্ষাৎকারে তিনি তার সেই কোচিং এক্সপিরিয়েন্স শেয়ার করেছেন এবং ইউরোপের ফুটবল কালচার কতটা আলাদা এবং আমাদের ইন্ডিয়ার কোচিং নিয়েও তিনি কথা বলেছেন, যে আমাদের দেশে প্রচুর লাইসেন্সধারী কোচ রয়েছে, কিন্তু তাদের আরো কি কি দরকার, আরো কোথায় কোথায় ইমপ্রুভমেন্টের দরকার, সেই নিয়ে কথা বলেছেন। এবং এট দ্য সেম টাইম একটা ডিবেট খুব হয়, আপনারা শুনবেন, সেটি হলো আমাদের ভারতীয় ফুটবলাররা বিদেশে গিয়ে ট্রায়াল দেয় না কেন, কেন দেয় না, সেই নিয়েও কথা বলেছেন আরাটা ইজুমি। এবং অ্যাট দ্য এন্ড অবশ্যই রায়ান উইলিয়ামস, আমরা যদি দেখি রায়ান উইলিয়ামস সেকেন্ড, প্রথম আরাটা ইজুমি আমাদের দেশের পাসপোর্ট নিয়ে আমাদের দেশের হয়ে প্রতিনিধিত্ব করেছেন, ফার্স্ট ফরেন বর্ন ফুটবলার, এবং সেকেন্ড হচ্ছে অবভিয়াসলি রায়ান উইলিয়ামস, তাকে নিয়েও কিন্তু কথা বলেছেন আরাটা ইজুমি। কলকাতার কথা এখনো ভোলেননি আরাটা ইজুমি, কারণ আমাদের এই একান্ত সাক্ষাৎকারের প্রথমেই তিনি যে কথাটা বলেছেন সেটা হচ্ছে কেমন আছো, কলকাতা এখনো কিন্তু আর খুব ভালো মতন কিন্তু মনে রয়েছে। আর কি কি বললেন আরাটা ইজুমি, চলুন শুনে নেওয়া যাক। Hi guys, Rahul this side on behalf of Rev Sports, and this is a very special interview. On the other end of the screen, it is Arata Izumi, and he's a very familiar face, in Indian football, because the first time he made headline, becoming the first foreign-born footballer to represent India, and once again, he has made headline by becoming the first Indian passport holder to become a head coach of a top-tier club in Europe. But it was a bit strange that we all are discussing about this feat, now. But just now I got to know that he has already become the head coach of Inter Descaldes, the Andorran football club, an year ago. But now he has made the social media post, and that's why you're all discussing about it. But it's an year ago that he became the head coach of Inter Descaldes, the Andorran football club. So the very first question obviously will be, Arata, that how everything unfolded, how you got the opportunity there, and what attracted you to join this Andorran football club.
So the first initiation came through from the club was 2024, around February, if I'm not wrong, January, February. The club member came down to Kolkata. That time I was with Intakashi in Kolkata, and they requested me to do the presentation, studying about the club, since the club was not struggling, but they wanted a better results. And they were wondering what they can do better to make sure the coming season, which is the 2024-25 season, how they can achieve their objective. And I gave my presentation, and I believe the club liked it, and the talking started. And after I assembled my team with the offer by the club, my assistant coach and my assistant coach. And initially, we participated Duran Cup for Intakashi with my team. And after Duran Cup, we shifted to Andorra.
Oh, that's great. So it has been already an year, and I was going through the past record of this team, Inter Descaldes, and I think they have won several silverware. So obviously there would be huge expectation, right? So how are you dealing with the expectations? So how this 1 year went for you in Inter Descaldes?
It started very, very positive note, and it was a great experience. Very quality players, quality staff. And Andorra is a small country, but the football is pretty much played with a very, very high level. So everything was just challenging, and everything was very, very exciting for me. And during the season, and probably I cannot disclose everything, but the results of the club during 2024-25, I think it was amazing, and I think that speaks everything about the contribution from each one of us. So it was an interesting experience, and I'm happy that I could be part of the club for a season.
Great. You have played in India. You have you have done coaching in India, but now you are in Andorra for an year. So how different the football culture there, from India?
Football culture itself is how do I say? Of course, the quality of the players is different. See, most of the players are coming from La Liga, and the top nation, footballing nation from all over the Europe. So the individual quality is really really high, and their footballing understanding is very high. Also, the competitive level of the league is pretty high. There's a very very close competitions, and especially top five. It's a really 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 high level competition. So I think that way, culture wise, there's not much different, but yeah, just simply the standard of the football is just much much higher there.
I would like to talk a bit about coaching education in India. As you have been a player and then you have turned in coach, you have done coaching licenses. Now you are an AFC Pro license holder, as far as I know. Can you tell us a bit about the coaching education in India? Do you see there's still a a void of there still need much improvement? The coaching because we always tell about the players' performance, players' quality in India, but we don't talk much about the coaching education in India. So, would you like to share your thoughts on that?
Mm, this is my personal opinion,
Okay.
but at this
Go
point
ahead.
of time, I think India AIFF is being busy increasing the number of the licensed coach, I believe, and I think there's always con and pro for everything, pro and con. But just increase the number of the licensed coach is, for me, it is a little risky
Okay.
thing to do. When you have license, you must have the ability and you must be having the quality to become coach. It's not about the footballing knowledge, right? Being a coach is about the personality, about a lot of things comes in the picture because becoming coach is nothing same with the becoming professional football player or the football player. So it doesn't mean that because you are a professional football player, you become a great coach. Well, because you are not professional football player, you cannot be a football coach. No, everyone can be a football coach because it's a completely different ball game altogether.
Okay.
When I look at and when I think from that point of view and how I grown up in Japan and seeing those Japanese coaches, I think there's a still huge gap. One those coaches who becomes coaches in Japan takes a lot of responsibility being a coach, and they choose to be coach because they believe and they love and they think they can contribute for the game by they being a coach. But I see a lot of times in this country, a lot of people, a lot of coaches, I think they are becoming a coach because there's a job opportunity, or that they just want to gain their licensing so that they can be part of the footballing environment. But that motive, I think it is not right. You really need to have the motive to do something for this game, football, Indian football. If you really feel Indian football is the one gave you some kind of opportunity and something great for your life, then you need to think about how you can return to this football, right? Indian football, right? So many a times I feel that is missing. I'm happy to see so many, A license coaches, B license coaches, C license. Nowadays, if I walk on the street, I see C license coaches, I see B license coaches, I see even A license coaches. But when I see the practical, I wonder many a times, like, okay, really? I think A license coaches, they are elite, supposed to be elite. Even the B license coaches, I think they're supposed to be elite. D license, C license, they are grassroots. But same time, for me, grassroots is what is most important. The coaches in the grassroots has to be one of the best. But I think it's in this country it's opposite. So yeah, the good part is many licensed coaches are there and it looks nice. But my point is there content to it? I have a question about that. I'm saying
Okay.
this since
Valid
I'm
point.
here last 20 years, and I'm openly talking about it. And I'm not criticizing anybody, but as a fact is too much the same. As my opinion, I'm saying this. I can be wrong.
No, I think valid points made by Arata, and we have talked about coaches. I would like to also talk about footballers in our nation because currently there is an uncertainty in Indian football, and many are talking about that why footballers are not going for football trials abroad. Also, I would say that it's not very easy, for footballers to go abroad and go for trials because previously a lot of footballers went there, but things didn't go in their favor, and they came back to the country and playing in the ISL. So as you have already tried this thing, going abroad, coaching in Andorra. So do you think our Indian football should also try this, right now? I mean, what's your opinion on this thing?
So which player you're talking about? They went to abroad in the Chetri or the Bhutia,
Yeah,
Sandesh.
Chetri, then Sandesh Jhingan, he also went there, but things didn't go in their favor. They came back. So,
But
what's your opinion on this?
what's the reason that you people are thinking? What was the reason that
Because
it wasn't successful, or that wasn't didn't go the right way? That people's expectation.
don't they match the quality or what?
Yeah, we are not there yet.
Okay, okay,
Even Sunil Shetty, he's a great player and a great personality. I'm a big fan of him. I played with him. I share the room with him, and I always respect him as a footballer. And he's a great figure of Indian football, no doubt about it. But Europe,
okay.
Sporting Lisbon, right? I think it was.
Yeah, yeah. Sporting Lisbon.
That is one of the best in the world.
No
Yeah,
doubt.
we are the FIFA ranking 140 at this point of time. I think I think in a sense it's clearly. I mean that's not the achievable task. Sandesh went to the Croatia, right?
Croatian club. Yeah.
I also posted, and I appreciated his challenging spirit. And of course, I wish him the best. I know him since he was 19 years old when he was playing for Sikkim United, and a great fella, nice guy, hardworking fella, fighter, no doubt. A very important player for Indian football. But Croatia is one of the best in the world. Still, my appreciation for him to show that to the next generation of young professional or the young players who is aiming to become professional. I think he did a fantastic job. So the Chetri, so Bhutia. Because of those role models, we can still believe and think about going abroad. But now, what we have to understand is the challenge achievable for you? I see many players are going to Europe from India. I think there's a lot of schemes going to Spain. I've seen, in fact, in Andorra also, there's one player who was playing one of the club in Andorra. The name of the club is La Masana. They
Okay.
are bottom side of the league, but he was there. I think, if I'm not wrong, he was playing in Europe for 2-3 years, and now that time he came to play for La Masana. But again, it's not achievable. So I think the
Okay.
players also have to understand, and like you are saying, yes, at this point of the time, Indian football is uncertain and they don't know what's going to happen. And I think some of the players can look to go out and play, but where they want to go, where they can go, realistically, I think that is something that I'm sure players know all these things. Players must be thinking about it. That's why probably they are not going abroad also, because if you go to abroad, you become foreigner, and usually foreign slot is only maybe maximum 5, and maybe 3 can play, or maybe 3+1. To fit in that slot, you got to be extraordinary. You have to be better than the local player. That's why when I came from Japan to India, right, those foreigners, those Japanese, or those other foreigners come to India to play as a foreigner. It is not the easy task. First of
Absolutely.
all, different culture, and that as a player, you have to be better than the local. And of course, if you don't become better than the local, you will be fired immediately. And plus, in India, players are fortunate enough to earn a lot of money. None of the other country will be able to offer that kind of money for Indian players at this point of time, because India didn't prove anything in football. Nothing. That's the fact. And that, especially now, I'm being with Indian football for the last 20 years, and I'm feeling strong pain looking at how Indian football is going. But if we don't face this reality, and if we don't understand this reality, this will continue next 20 years. Because what I heard when I came this country in 2006, and today what I'm hearing is exactly the same. Usually I don't talk these things because people attack me, and I get really tired of those. But even if I don't talk, I think no one's gonna talk. I know. I think there are a few people who is openly talking about that, and I always appreciate their
True.
honesty and their actual concern of Indian football. They are the good people. They are the goodwill people for Indian football. Whoever doesn't talk the reality, I don't think they really care about Indian football.
Yeah, I think it's hard to digest, but very valid points, made by Arata. I think has already answered, the question that being raised by I mean, many football enthusiasts were all talking about that why Indian players are not going abroad and give trials there. I think it's really challenging for the players. I think they need to be extraordinary to meet the expectation, in Europe or any other countries outside India. Last two question, Arata. The second last is obviously regarding the uncertainty of the Indian football. It's really affecting the footballers and their family, and also the coaches like you as well. Coaches, players, they are not getting to do what they does the best. So, what's your opinion on this?
What I was saying is it's a disaster, and I can really smile and I can really talk lightly about it. 6 months or more now since this season started. I can't even imagine how many people are suffering because of this. The players, coaches, whoever part of the footballing ecosystem, extent of that, there's a family. They are family. They are people. People are relying on the income of us who are being part of Indian football ecosystem for the longest period of time. And now suddenly, this guy tells us there's nothing. And salary is not paid. Communication is not done. Meeting is going on. In number of meeting is going on. None of the decision come through. People are still thinking about their benefit.
Yes.
Same time, I really appreciate the clubs who's really still holding their players and giving the how do you say, the training session and all the activities. Of course, some clubs had a AFC tournament, and also there is a duty or there's a reason for them to do so. But I think most of the clubs are doing with the more than that feeling, more than that duty of them, that they really feel responsibility that, the player that they have, the coaches they have, and I think they are doing their best. But today also, I just now I saw the very, very sad news that even the Bangalore FC stopped, suspended their training session. And in a way, I can understand as an organization. I mean, you got to stop after the point, right? You can't keep doing it without having any clarity. So I'm telling you, it's more than the disaster that probably you can even imagine. You are being part of Indian football, but I think your entry is slightly different because you are coming from the media background, right? So
Yeah,
you are
for us,
knowing that
there is another window. I mean, if football is not there, we can try cricket and other sports. But footballers, that is
exactly,
their profession. That is their bread and butter.
exactly, and we made ourselves we made ourselves professional by sacrificing everything, and that though, but most of us are working towards the betterment of Indian football. So we are not just the employees; we are the driving force of the future of Indian football. And sometimes I feel in this country, or let it be AIFF, they are not really, how do I say, appreciating the human resources that they have, and those people who really putting efforts to take the Indian football to the next level. Otherwise, how this situation can arise? How? Right? I've seen so many players came together and made a player, and some very strong personality. Like I think Sandy also made Sandesh. Sandy also made some posts. I think some other players also, even foreigners are making really like a stronger message on the social media and all. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say, man. Seriously, I mean, how you are going to repair this damage? How? Damage is already done, and I think it's irreparable.
Yeah.
And because of this, I think Indian football will, or the development of Indian football will be delayed next. I don't know how many years more. 2047 World Cup. The vision itself was vision was just vision. There was no content to it. It was just a vision. So the action was not taken. So that is not going to happen. Next solution came through as a PIO OCI, right?
Yeah.
The PIO OCI is not going to take us to the World Cup. Never.
I was coming to that question only. I mean, when Ryan Williams, gave up his Australian passport and he decided to represent India, you were also himself the first foreign-born player to represent India, and you made a bold comment, bold statement that a PIO or OCIO player will never feel the same kind of patriotism or same kind of feeling for the national team as another Indian player would feel. So, could you elaborate that?
Yeah, obviously, you got to understand the country. You got to live in the country to represent your country, right? You can't just come and represent the country because you have roots. I think that's very, very simple. I think being a national team player is not as, like casual as it should be, in my opinion. I love this country. I'm super proud to be an Indian. For me to say this, I had to stay here for a certain amount of time. Because otherwise it's gonna be a joke. Yeah, I was born as an Indian, but I was born and grown up in Japan. I had no clue about India till 18 years old. Till actually I come to India when I was 24 years old, 2006, right? It was for East Bengal. After that, I came to know what is Indian football is. I spent time being the local, being the part of the Indian football ecosystem, being in the culture. Without doing that, you bring the player from outside, this player, this player, this player, this player, this player. You assemble a team. Do you think you can justify as an Indian? Can I justify as an Indian seeing them wearing blue color? For me, wearing the blue color was extremely heavy responsibility. It is the biggest honor in my life that I could wear the blue.
It's great.
Without having that feeling, how you can be so responsible? We are human beings, man. We are not something else. Before footballer, we are just a human being. If you want to be attached, if you are attached to your family because you are part of the family, right? You cannot be suddenly attached to someone's family.
True.
Friends also same, no? You takes time to create a relationship, the attachment, the feeling of, and finally you may call you as my best friend. You don't trust if I call you from beginning, you are my best friend because I spoke to you today. Oh man, nah. That's a lie.
So you're
So,
saying that PIO and OCI are not solution to.
not at all. See, how many PIO OCIs are there in the world that though playing in a very, very, very good level? Who can immediately inject Indian football, Indian national team, to become part of the World Cup nation? How many players you can name? I think recently, of course, Ryan is a great player, no doubt about it. Very good player. And he played in India at least 2-3 years with Bangalore FC. So he's been part of the ecosystem, Indian football ecosystem. So I think it's very, very fair, and I respect his decision. And I was very happy when I saw. In fact, I spoke with Ryan before he changed his citizenship. I had some talk with him, and I was very excited to see he's wearing the blue. And people will accept him being an Indian national team player because he played in India. And he can bring certain results for the Indian national team, no doubt about it. He's a quality player. But again, he's the only single guy. He's an individual who bought the team sports. How much he can bring on the pitch level. But this also I spoke about it in another media many times. But a person like me, person like Lion, people should expect from us much more on the off the pitch level contribution for the Indian national team or the Indian football or development of Indian football. Because we born and grown up in one of the better footballing nation in Asia, right? So Australia, so me Japan. We went through all the development system of Japan for me, for him, and maybe the Australia. And we've seen what is the way for this country to become one of the best in Asia, and how they become the countries who is consistently being part of the World Cup and competing with Spain, Germany, or the top nations, being an Asian country. We can offer so many things off the pitch level, much more than on the pitch level. But this initiative has to come from the organization. That's why, I don't know, recently, finally, I could make my dream come, one of make dream come true moment for me. But finally, 2 players from India shifted to Japan and registered themselves in the Japan Football Association, and they will be part of the footballing ecosystem. First time in the history.
I saw the post in your social media. Yeah.
This I'm doing individually, yeah? That's why I took 20 years to make this happen. But this could have happened when I came to India itself, 2006. Or maybe at least when I changed my citizenship, 2013. Or 2011, sorry. Imagine by now what kind of bridge we could create with one of the best footballing nation in Asia, which is Japan. So the Lion, he can do the same thing. Yes, of course, I also expect a lot from him on the pitch level, but my expectation for him is much, much more of the pitch. And I think people should understand this. And for that, we individually cannot do everything. We need support. We need understanding. We need those really goodwill people who is really hoping and wishing for the Indian football to get better. And imagine, we changed our citizenship. That's a huge thing. It means we have the commitment. Everything for Indian football. I'm saying everything. I do my best, everything that I can do. And the Lion also will be the same one who's going to say the same thing, I believe. I hope, I believe. I cannot talk on behalf of him, but I believe so. I hope so. So absolutely. Yeah. So I hope people get this intensity and much more than just, the very first layer of, yeah, he scored the goal. Yeah, he didn't score the goal. So what he's talking about, yeah. No, guys. Now it's a time for us to really see into the details, see into the fact. Try to look into the fact. It is painful. But we need to see that. We need to act on it. We need to accept that and have to work on. Otherwise, next generation is going to suffer. We are here to make a better world, right, for the next generation. Always. As a human being, I think that should be our biggest aim. Yes. And if you don't do it, we are going to make next generation suffer. Do you want to do that? At least I don't want to do that. So since I'm talking to you and I'm opening up and talking a lot of things, I hope if there's anybody who can see the same vision with me and you can agree to me and who can help me out to better for Indian football, please reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to do whatever I can do for you. That's great, and also proud of you. And you made a lot of valid points, in this interview. And thanks a lot for that, for giving us time and also making valid points regarding the Indian football. I think I have made very few who raise their voice and speak about what things need to be done in Indian football, but we have made several such points that need to be done in Indian football to develop Indian football. I'm really grateful for this conversation. Thanks once again for joining us and giving us your valuable time, and wish you a happy new year. Hope this new year bring success for you and also for Indian football as well. Thank you once again. Thank you so much. Happy New Year too. Have a good day.